got a couple people joining. Yay. Hey, so tell me where you're from. Spend a couple of minutes doing that. Oh, Bugs Bunny Elbow, you're back. Yay. It's so fun seeing all of you guys. Nails by Megan, good to see you back. Fairy Tale Nails, yay. New Hampshire. Oh, somebody from Washington. I'm here in Olympia, Washington, Nebraska. That's awesome. Minnesota. Okay, where's the international people? I know they're there somewhere. Oh, hey, sunny day. North Carolina, Georgia. Come on, internationals, where are you? There we go. Stockholm, Sweden. New Brunswick, good. Okay. Awesome. New York, Colorado. Hey, Spain, that's right. You are from Spain. Denmark, Canada, Connecticut. This is so cool seeing all of you guys, especially some of you that I chit-chat with on some of the posts. Berlin, Germany, Spain, another Spain, yay. Okay, so I've got about 34 of you. Croatia, wow, Chicago. My name is Anna Seidel, and I am the author of nailcarehq.com, and then also the company that I own is Bliss Kiss with my husband. And so just a little bit of housekeeping here. I am not here to sell you a darn thing. You're welcome to ask me questions about our products, but that's not my intention with these lives. It's to put a face to all the writing that I've done. I can't believe I've written over 80 articles now. Kate Davis, I love your nail oil. I do too. I'm slightly biased, but yeah, it's totally changed my life in more ways than one. And you know, I've got nails because of it. So that's awesome. Okay, couple other things is please no swearing. We get young kids here and we want to keep it kind of PG. And let's see, what else? Be nice. Just be nice. Try not to have too many conversations with other people in it, because it makes it really hard for me to find the important questions that you guys are asking. Ugh. Miss Adudikins, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Any suggestions for medical professionals or other constant hand washers? Yes. Weekends, your days off are your best friend. That's first of all, because it's y'all have to wash and you have to use these really tough soaps and lotions that don't do squat. But you know, all of your medically approved stuff. So we created our lotion stick. My mother is our chemist, and she created the lotion sticks I specifically asked her, I said, please, our oil is so nice and light and it just kind of disappears, and I need something that's gonna like trap in the oil, and it's gonna create this wonderful water resistant barrier that lasts through a couple of hand washings. So we developed that for people who are stuck with water, you know, restaurant business, obviously, the medical professionals, for people who work with paper, and people who work with fabric, because like there's a lot of you who work retail and you're unpacking lots and lots of boxes. So, and the paper, gosh, you wouldn't think, but paper just sucks the oil and moisture out of your skin and your nails. Somebody's asking to see my nails. Okay, let's see. Gosh, so for some of you who were here last week, these are my Gay Pride nails, and can you believe it? This is a week. This is a whole week, because I did these, gosh, last Tuesday, Wednesday, and I've got horses. So granted, I wear gloves for everything, Where was I going? I do this a lot. You'll notice I go down rabbit holes and then I'm like, where was I going with this? Can you dry regular nail polish in a UV lamp? No. Regular nail polish cures by having the solvents. So the solvents are what make it liquid in the bottle, and what makes it hard on your nails is the solvents evaporate. So to stick them under a UV lamp, that's not curing it. That's it. You have to have the solvents evaporate out, and that's how it gets hard. So gel and gel is whether it's a hard gel or a soak-off gel, those use the UV lamps or the LED lamps because it is actually curing. It's actually making all of the different ingredients interact, and then they harden that way. Katie says, is there a way to get that last little bit of oil out of your pens, the oil pens? There's always some left that's enough for a couple more uses but won't come out. I know, and it kind of breaks your heart. You're like, oh, there's just that last little bit of oil. The reason, so it's 2 mils, not millimeters. Anyway, 2 mLs, and actually the pen holds about 2.2. So there's just that last little bit. We can't get it out because what's happening is, let's see if I can get you guys to see it. So the plunger is here, and it can only go so far, and then it's done. So kind of where these the little ridges happen. So it's okay. The other thing you could do is, we do have directions on our website, and a lot of people on YouTube have shown how to pull the pens apart, and you could get the last little bit that way. Some people are able to refill them. They're sold to us as a single-use item, so we can't guarantee that they can be filled. Sometimes they pop and break. The little plunger, if that pulls apart, there's no putting it back together. But it's a single-use item. So anyway, I hope that helps. Bugs Bunny says, I just woke up like 10 minutes ago and it's 1 p.m. Goodness, girl, what were you up till 5 a.m.? I wish I could sleep till 1 p.m. sometimes. What's the fastest way to make your nails stronger? Put nail polish on. Lots and lots and lots of nail polish. The best way to, and I've written a couple of articles about this. Actually, I kind of seem to touch on it in all of my articles, but nail oil, a high quality jojoba wax ester blend, is going to strengthen your nails like nothing else. And because most people think that they want strong hard nails, and you don't. What you want is your nails to actually, when you bang them into a counter or a door or whatever, you want these to bend. You don't want them hard, because if they're hard, they snap. So go to Google nailcarehq.com and strengthen brittle nails, and that works. Also, then the next step would be applying at least 5 layers of polish. And I know it sounds like a lot, but we tend to do it anyway. So 2 layers of base coat, and what you want to do is wrap it, for those of you who have tips, you want to wrap your 2 layers of base coat all the way around the tips, down to your finger. And what that does is it encapsulates the nail. And so the most damaging thing we can do to our nails is have them soak up a bunch of water. And so the nail polish encapsulates your nails. And so you've got 2 layers of a ridge filling base coat. Has to be ridge filling especially if you've got ridges. For those of you who are still young and blessed with a great matrix, then that's highly functional, because when we're young, everything's working great. But as we get older, so to go back to it, 2 layers of a ridge filling base coat, 2 layers of color, but don't wrap that around because it's a royal pain in the you know what to get that out. And then another layer of top coat, and wrap that all the way around. So then what have you done to your tips? You now have 5 layers on top, 3 layers on the bottom. So your tips are being protected by 8 layers of polish. And that's how I am able to have my nails, because they're so thin that they will break all the time. Nails on Fleek says, hey Anna, I absolutely love your articles. My nails are so long and healthy, and they thank you. Yay, that's the thing that makes me so happy, is that you guys get to, myself included, but we actually get to choose how long we want to have our nails be. So that's just so exciting, because so many people on the entire planet are just so discouraged. And so anyway, hope that helps. So thank you. Read your article about the overnight treatment. Can you load up your nails with more oil before putting gloves on, or even use the dropper bottle to add oil to the fingertips before putting them on? Yes, so that's what you do. So the overnight hydration treatment, and you can even do this during the day for a couple of hours, like if you're working on your keyboard or you're sitting watching television, you can either do a short hydration. But what you're gonna do is slather on your Simply Pure oil, and then what I like to do is use our lotion stick all over my hands, and then that encapsulates the traps in the oil, and then put your hands in either I like the nitrile gloves. Some people use cotton gloves. I feel like the cotton, can't think of it. I feel like it soaks it up more, whereas with the nitrile gloves, it lets your body heat, warm everything up, and warm oil is absorbed faster than cold oil. That helps. Yay, fairy tale nails. Yes, I still have my pride nails. I've been meaning to take it off and start something new, but I keep writing articles and doing stuff like that. And oh my gosh, you guys, we have this new product that that I just discovered, and it is going to help all of you young moms with car seats. So keep your eyes open for that. I'm so excited. You use mango butter in your lotion stick. What's the difference between mango and cocoa butter? I can't tell you, because my mom is our chemist, so she chose the mango. So I mean, there's so many good oils and butters, and what's really interesting though is, you know, so many people will just use coconut oil or whatever, your mango or cocoa butter. You can use any of those on your skin, but there's something that magical that happens when you blend different butters and oils together. Okay, how many family members help run Bliss Kiss? Oh, this is such a fun one. Right now, it is just my husband and I. When we first started, and we were starting to sell more than Corey and I could handle, we roped in our kids, and we have 4 children, and for about 2 years they filled the pens, and yeah, so needless to say, they don't ever want to work in the business again. So and then we also, let's see, oh, there's my mom. So she's our accountant and also the chemist. She's also the creator behind our lip balm, which is amazing, because I said, Mom, I want you to create a lip balm that will last all night, because I cannot stand waking up in the morning and I've got parched, cracked lips, and so it had to last all night, and that's what it does. Now granted, it doesn't during the day, because we're talking and we're eating and licking our lips and doing that kind of stuff. So anyway, I just love it. And the people who have tried it and use it religiously, they've gone from it seems like chronically cracked lips to really nice, soft, healed lips. So, and then she's working now. She's starting to work on flavors. So first flavor we're working on is a mint, which actually, let's take a little quick poll here. For a lip balm, what flavors do you guys like? Like one single, like if we're only going to carry one flavor, what should it be? Good morning from California. Good morning. I used to live in California. I was in Riverside. I was born in San Diego. What's better to use, glass nail files or metal nail files? Any nail file that you like is going to be just fine. The only one that you do not ever want to use on natural nails is a 100 grit. They usually come cardboard. You don't ever want to use 100 grit on natural nails. It just sort of shreds them. Almost like a food processor kind of thing. So let me describe real quick for those of you who don't know the grits of a nail file. So if you imagine a square and it's got pieces of sand, so 100 grit is like 100 pieces of sand. 250 grit is 250 little pieces of sand in that. 600 grit's going to have 600. So you can see that the higher the number, the smaller the sanding surface. So I prefer crystal nail files. For me, I just get a really, really nice smooth edge with it, and they don't say what their grit is, but they range somewhere between 400 and 600. So that's why we carry the Mont Bleu crystal nail files from the Czech Republic. They're my favorite. And so that's why we carry those. Does your lotion stick help swimmers? Yes. Slather it on. Yep. It'll keep your skin soft, and then it also protects it from the water just sucking out the oil. What are your suggestions for nails? Renee, what would you like to know about nails? I could talk, every week I'm talking for a long, long time about nails. There's all kinds of things I can tell you. Oh, there we go. What are your suggestions for nails that break easily? You want to use a high quality jojoba wax ester based nail oil blend. You want jojoba to be the first or second ingredient, preferably first, because under the microscope, jojoba wax ester looks almost identical to body oil. Almost identical. It's trippy. And so since body oil can come through your skin and your nail plate, then jojoba can go down into your nails and your skin as well. But then we screw it up because we wash our hands way too much, and I can't wait till the antibacterial soaps are gone. I know that breaks a lot of your hearts, but regular soap works just fine, and we have had more issues with people getting colds and other things because we're creating this with antibacterial soaps and what am I thinking of? The gels. I'm blanking on the name. Anyway, what they're doing is they're killing so much bacteria that then our body hasn't built up our immune system enough. So we're actually doing ourselves a really big disservice by using antibacterial products. Normal soap works just fine. So for the question for nails that break easily, go to Google nailcarehq.com and strengthen brittle nails, and that will help you. And then just go play around and go down the rabbit hole of Nail Care HQ. So it's a big rabbit hole. Are gel nails bad for your natural nails? This is such a great question. The answer is no. They are not bad for your nails. They are just fine. The problem is that they are usually removed improperly. So what happens is, and even all of the manufacturer's directions say to wrap it in foil or however you're going to end up removing it, and then to take an orange wood stick after it's sat for about 10 minutes and to basically scrape off the gel. Well, on Nail Care HQ, and you can also Google how to remove gel properly. and that will show you how damaging just using an orange wood stick is. And so really what you need to do is soak for a long time. And Doug says it can be up to 30 minutes. So you really want to be able to just pull like this and have all of the gel come off. And if you've got a little bit left on, like it hasn't dissolved yet, then put more cotton on, soak for another 10 minutes, and it should be able to just swipe right off this way. You want to use finger pressure, not a tool. Bliss Kiss from Italy. Oh, you just got your oils. You're just gonna love them. You're gonna love them. Oh, by the way, you guys, it's about a month from now, but we are gearing up for our semi-annual. We have two sales per year. One is January and one is July, and we have the entire store is going to be marked down 15 to some of the products 40% off. So yeah, and then if you want an extra 10%, go to My Bliss Kiss and sign up for our email list, and you'll get a coupon code for another 10% off your entire order. So, and then we've got some special stuff happening for those of you who do bigger orders. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Larger pens, I'll tell you why we don't have the bigger 4mm pens is because actually the company that I ordered them from, they sent me some samples and I did, and what I found is that they just seem to go rancid quicker because, you know, our pens are out, they're on counters, they're on tables and stuff, and they're getting light and sunlight, and the grapeseed oil is the most fragile oil. It has a 9-month shelf life, so it tends to, they go rancid quicker. And so I was just like, and rancid oil is just fine, it still works just fine, we just don't like the smell of it. So I hope that helps. Tips for nail care during the summer, especially when you like to swim. So for sure, that is, make sure you're using your nail oil, and do overnight hydration treatments. And then also for when you're swimming, use some sort of like either our lotion stick or some sort of a balm type of lotion, because that's going to create, it's got a little beeswax in it. Ours has a little bit of pharmaceutical grade lanolin, and that keeps it a little softer, because I don't like products with a lot of beeswax, and then a lot of them tend to have almond oil in them, and I'm allergic to almonds, so that's why part of why we created our lotion stick also. So yeah, for sure. And then make sure that you're always wearing at least one layer of base coat wrapped all the way around your tips to prevent water absorption. Hope that helps. Trying to educate a friend of mine about nail oil and not using strengthening nail polishes. That's yay, that's good. So send people to nailcarehq.com, because sometimes, you know, and this is what I learned is we don't want to be told things, we want to learn things. And so and this is why I write so many articles, because I want to create value first, and by doing that, by educating all of the wonderful things that we can do with our nails, that builds trust. And that's why our business is so successful as well. Miss Stransky, hello, beautiful lady. Hello, lovely. Hi, Anna. Why do I recommend 2 coats of base coat? The reason that I do is because since I'm getting older and my digestion is not working as well, my matrix back here doesn't function. There's parts of it that don't function properly. And so what happens is the body, your matrix is making thinner nail cells. And so what that is it's the grooves in between. So for me, I need to use 2 2 coats of a ridge filling base coat, which is a dumb name because it's really groove filling. That's what we want. You don't ever want to buff your nails, because if you think about it, your nails are the thickest part, those ridges that everybody wants to get rid of. It's not the ridges. You think about it, that's the thickest part. So like if you think about it as a mountain, so you've got a mountain and then a valley and another mountain. What part has more dirt? The mountain. So we want to keep those ridges. What we really want to do is fill in the grooves, and so for me, because of the ridges, I need two layers of base coat. If you don't need that, then one is good too. Oh, this is Kate. Kate, this is a great question. It is not a stupid question. Why does nail oil make the tips of my nails clear when I first apply it? That is great, because if your tips are turning clear, that means that your nail tips are absorbing all oil all the way through, which is great. And the reason that okay, so let me talk about this a little bit. The reason that your nail bed is pink is because it's transparent. You can see the pink nail bed underneath the nail, and that is because your nail bed is pumping up the right blend of moisture and then also body oil. So it's about 18% moisture and about 5% body oil, and so your nail bed is pumping up that blend, and that's what makes the nails transparent. But then once they grow past your fingertips and become your free edge, then they're no longer being nourished with that oil and the perfect blend of moisture. And so they dry out. So if you think of like an autumn leaf, it's nice and moist and flexible when it's green, and then in the autumn when it falls, it no longer is getting moisture from the tree. And so what happens is it starts to shrivel up and crack, and that's exactly what's happening with our nails. So it's actually good to have clear nail tips. It is totally backwards. The whole planet is coveting white tips, and it's like, you don't need white tips. Kath, besides improper removal, do you know anything detrimental with a home soak-off gel when used as a semi-permanent base? As long as you soak that off correctly, and a lot of people don't know this, but you do need to file off the shine of your gel, because otherwise that shiny surface really is very, very difficult for the acetone to penetrate. I don't know why. So what you want to do is, using about a 180 or 240 grit file, you want to just buff off the shine of the gel, and then just soak. And what's really great, you guys are gonna love these, for those of you who haven't experienced our manicure clips yet. So when I discovered these have been kind of promoted for gel, and when I got samples, I needed to take off my polish, just my normal polish, and so I put this on, and I was like, oh my gosh, because what you want to do is, when you're removing polish, there is actually a correct, better way to remove polish. And what you want to do is get a piece of cotton. So I unroll a cotton ball and cut it up. Take a piece of cotton, you saturate that in acetone, and then to where it's almost dripping, and put that on your nail, and then just let it soak for about a minute. But what I discovered with these clips was that it trapped in the heat, and actually warm acetone dissolves polish faster. So within about a minute, so here's what I do is, I do a clip, go all the way around. By the time I get to my thumb, this one is done. And so what I do is I take another piece of cotton and I swipe it, remove the clip, swipe, clip, swipe, clip, swipe, done. And because you're not scrubbing, you're not grinding the pigments that are, because you think about it, I mean, polish has all of these pigments in it, and it's fine as long as you painted it and it's gotten hard. But as soon as you start to remove it, you're dissolving it, and then you're grinding it into the top layers of the polish, of your nail plate, and that's what causes them to stain pretty badly. So we can't get away, especially if you like dark colors, you're not going to get away from getting that yellow tint that happens especially as our tips get yellower and yellower, and it's just because the nature of having polish and removing it. And for me, it's no big deal because I'm just going to cover it up with another color anyway. So let's see. I hope that helps, Kath. Oh, Rhea says, I just posted a throwback mani. I love the design still, but I'm horrified looking at my cuticles. I used to cut them. Oh, this is such a great thing that you brought up, because, and I get to teach it every time, which is fantastic. The entire world has been taught that this type band of skin right here is your cuticle. And that is completely false. What it is it's the proximal fold of the eponychium. And the eponychium is this area right here that covers up your nail matrix. So it's this thicker part of skin that covers that up and protects the matrix as the new nail cells are growing. And so a lot of people, what happens, so the cuticle is actually the dead skin on the nail plate. Okay, so as your nail is growing out, it's gross. It basically rips the bottom layer of the eponychium and pulls that, and which is also then tightly bonded to the proximal fold of the eponychium. And then if the cuticle and that proximal fold it really has a death grip on it, and so the cuticle will actually pull the proximal fold out with it, which is why about every 4 or 5 days, when people say I need to push back my cuticles, no, what you're doing is actually releasing the proximal fold from that death grip of the cuticle. And then what that does is it keeps that nice tight band of skin. You just want to gently scrape back, not very much pressure at all. This is why I like to do it with my fingernails. If you have really short nails, you could use an orange wood stick. Just be really, really careful. So what we're doing is we're pushing straight back, not down, because then you're going to damage your matrix. And so what happens is, this is why people want to cut the skin, is if it hasn't been released, so the cuticle has this death grip on the proximal fold, stretches it out, and then when we do release it, that skin is so thin that it just dries out, and then we go, oh, I need to cut that because it has no purpose. But it does. It's a guardian seal that keeps germs and bacteria from the matrix, and that is, you do not want germs and bacteria in there. That's how you get damaged nails. And it's also how, if it gets in there, you can cause so much damage that it'll be permanent. So especially like it can happen if you slam your nail, like when I was 12, I slammed my this thumb. I got it caught in my mom's VW Bug door as I was getting out for school, and the door slammed and latched shut on that nail. So there is a part, so I have this, it's sort of, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's not a nice round curve. So I've got this really, really sharp ridge there, and then it's really thin on the sides, and that is just because these spots in my matrix were totally damaged forever. You can't find nitrile gloves. Rhea, are you in another country? Because they're on Amazon, and I don't know if they'd be on Amazon in your country if you're not in the US. Should we carry nitrile gloves? Maybe. And you can use latex gloves if you don't have a latex allergy. I just recently learned that about 1% of the population has a latex allergy. I would have thought it would have been bigger. And so, yeah, you can use latex. Would it be possible to get a distributor for Simply Pure in Canada? We are working on getting on Amazon in Canada. And the reason that we've tried having a few distributors, and we actually closed that because, and I'm just overly possessive right now. Our mission is to create, at Bliss Kiss, is to create life-changing products with an exceptional customer experience. And so when we pass that on to distributors, then we have to rely on their customer support. And people haven't gotten the best customer support. So I'm hanging on to it for a little while. So that's why we sell globally through our website. And well, you know, I see that distributors are probably somewhere in the future. I just don't know when. Oh, Corey Seidel says you look cute today. Love you. I love you too, honey. Bugs Bunny, what is the best way to deal with hangnails? I use your oil religiously, but I keep getting hangnails on my thumbs and pointer fingers. That makes me wonder, what are you doing with your hands? If it's just on your thumbs and that, you know, the thumbs and the index fingers, those are the ones that we use the most because we grab with them. So you could be getting the hangnails because of whatever you're doing. I don't know. It's like my kids. Someone like Bradley gets these shredding ones, and it's like, what are you doing with your hands? But of course he doesn't use our oil or anything. So if basically what I do is if you've got that hangnail, this is why I don't think I have them here, but I love infant nail clippers. So the teeny little infant ones, and what they do is because they're so sharp, because when you're clipping infants' nails, you don't have much time. So it's like, get in, get out, get it done. So I love them because they're so small and short, and I tend to get these hangnails that are kind of on the sides. So, and I will work at them. Like, I got one right here that I could work on if I was bored. And so I will take those infant nippers, cut just the part that's detached itself, because you don't want to cut into the live skin, then it'll get infected and it hurts like a and then go and oil that. I hope that helps. I love your products even more now. Small businesses. Yes, small businesses rock. So, who is Adrian? Adrian was my social media manager and personal assistant a little bit. Like if I needed to catch a plane somewhere, she would book the plane and the rental car. She has moved on, so we don't know what she's doing, but yeah, so she was a great asset. And you know, the recession is kicking in, and sadly, so we needed to kind of streamline, and I'm really excited about what the team is doing. Oh my gosh, they're doing such great work, and we're trying new strategies to build business more, and yeah, so there's good stuff coming, you guys. Really good stuff. Hi, vanilla. Oh, there we go. Vanilla. So this is for lip balm. Mint, cherry flavor, vanilla, crisp. I've eaten crisp. I'm like, I just put my oil on and then ate potato chips and ended up I was like, oh gosh. But there are a couple people who actually like the flavor of crisp. For me, it's very bitter and blah. Pink sugar. Mint is a great lip balm flavor. Watermelon. Oh, that one's vanilla. We've had several vanilla. Strawberry, mango, vanilla, Um, oh, the short bunny. You guys have to use Bliss Kisses glass nail file. It is amazing. I agree. Rhea, I thought metal files are bad. That was a very, very old article that was written by Kayla Siobhan. I don't think she's blogging anymore. And I have learned from Doug that it is, so she had written that nail files are or the metal files are the worst ones that you could possibly use. Throw them out. And I'm like, mm. So when Doug, what he did, because so many people had been asking, like, does it really matter what file you use? Does it matter, and I have an article about this, does it matter if you file one direction or if you seesaw back and forth? And the answer is because he went and he grabbed his electron microscope and he took nails that had been filed with all different kinds of files, and also he checked, does it matter whether you file 1, 2, 3 one direction, 1, 2, 3 the other direction, you know, single direction, does it matter, or does it does seesawing back and forth damage your nails? And the answer is no. There's no difference. So I was so excited because all my life I've been seesawing back and forth. It's just faster. It's easier for me. And as a mom of 4 and a businesswoman, it's like, I don't have time. I gotta, and actually, I don't file my nails all that much. I just let them grow longer and then cut them and then file the edge to make it smooth. I'm just lazy. Will the lotion stick ever come in scents similar to the oil? We do have crisp. It was a funny story. James was making a batch of lotion sticks last fall with the new blend of autumn, and he got the decimal point wrong on the fragrance, and so instead of making like 7 tubes of lotion stick for us internally with the autumn scent, he ended up making like 47, and those sold like hotcakes, and I love mine. So we're working on seeing if we can do winter. I think we're working on pink sugar too. I can't remember if that's been put on hold or what. And then we tried vanilla. This is a funny story. Okay, so you would think that vanilla would smell like vanilla. Well, when you blend it with other oils like mango butter and jojoba, the fragrance changes a little bit. And so vanilla smelled like Play-Doh. And for those of you who love the smell of Play-Doh, would love it, but it was not vanilla. And of course, once I realized it smelled like Play-Doh, I was just like, I can't use this. So unless you want Play-Doh scented lotion stick, but we're working on those. The challenge with the different fragrance lotion sticks is, like I was saying before, the fragrance can, the other ingredients can change the fragrance, and then our current ratio of fragrances with some other things, it needs more, and then more fragrance. Well, that's a little bit more of a different ingredient, and that changes the chemistry of the lotion stick, and it can make it too soft or too hard. So it's really challenging. You'd think just do it, and we have, and that's how we ended up with Play-Doh lotion stick. How long does it take to ship to Finland? So all of you international people, it takes, you know, the soonest it gets there, I think somebody got one, it might have been the UK, in 10 days. That was stunning because it can take up to 6 weeks. The usual is 2 weeks to 3 weeks. And then, but the challenge is that we cannot be responsible for any customs or duty fees. So you want to make sure that you know whatever your country's threshold is before they start charging those fees, because we aren't able to do that, and plus we never know what they're going to charge. So you have taught me so much, Anna. Thank you. I ordered a product with the summer scent today. A question: is it normal to get deep ridges during menopause, or can it be a sign of something else? I don't know if you were here earlier, but I did talk about it, but I'll talk about it again. As we get older, our digestion gets worse, and we just don't absorb all of the nutrients that we did like when we were children. And so there are small sections of the matrix that then stop functioning ideally. And so what happens is your matrix creates thinner layers, and so that's the little grooves in between the ridges. So the ridges are good. That's the thicker part of your nails. What we want to do is fill the grooves with a ridge filling base coat. We used to carry one, and then the company that I got it from, the distributor, after 38 years, they just was like, thanks for the business, and we're done. And that's how we went to order at the website, and one day we could order, and the next day it was gone. And since it was labeled, was privately labeled as their company, I didn't know the actual manufacturer. So I'm working with a manufacturer right now to create a ridge filling base coat, because I wandered through Walmart, Target, and I looked at all of the big brands, and not one of them carries a ridge filling base coat. I know OPI does, but I'm kind of surprised. So I'm working on that, guys. I am, guys and gals. Purely Polished. I know you've talked about the lunula before and how it's actually better to not see your lunula because it's the exposed matrix. I have a very prominent lunula, so does that mean my nails are weaker? No. What it means is just that is the exposed portion of your matrix that you can actually see. And for those of you who covet the lunula, you do not want it, because since it isn't covered by the eponychium anymore, it tends to be more fragile. So if you whack it against, if you whack that spot against a counter or whatever, it actually makes it so that the nail cells don't turn transparent as they leave the matrix. So when you have a lunula, the reason that it's whitish is because that's the color of the nail cells while they're coming from the matrix. And as soon as they go past the lunula, then they're dead. So they're only alive back here, and then your nails are dead. So does not mean your nails are weaker, but what it does mean is that you have the potential of bruising them more when you bang things, and then you won't really, and you can also bang your matrix back here underneath the eponychium, and you won't see that for 1 to 2 months for it to get to the cuticle line. And then what you'll get is these horizontal white bruises. Basically, they're just bruises. They don't turn transparent because they've been damaged. And so that just grows out, and it's really funny. I mean, some of you will tell me what your grandmothers said. If you're going to have, well, all those white lines mean that you're going to have 16 boyfriends or whatever. There's some pretty funny ones, but basically they're just bruises. And the reason that people don't understand them is because by the time you actually see them, it's been a couple of months. So you have completely forgotten what you did to damage it. So it just grows out. It's no biggie. Nails by Rhiannon. What are your thoughts on soaking your nails in lemon juice? I've seen this on YouTube where they soak their nails with lemon juice and apple cider vinegar for like 15 minutes. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad. The reason that it is bad is because the most damaging thing to our nail plate, chemical actually, is water. So lemon juice is water, it's liquid. Apple cider vinegar, the nail plate is going to absorb these. And what happens is the more water or liquid that your nails absorb, and then they dry out, and then they absorb more water, and then they dry out. But what happens is, think of a book, okay? So you've got all of these layers, these nice layers of paper. All the pages, they stack nicely together, it's all smooth, but then you get the book wet. And it does dry, but if the pages dry all wonky and wrinkled. So it doesn't matter what you do, there's no way you're going to make all those pages perfectly flat anymore. And that is what water does to the nail plate. It pulls those layers apart, and what oil does, so your oil blend, your nail oil blend, what that does is it actually helps kind of glue those layers back together. It's amazing. So if you're having a lot of trouble with peeling, get your hands out of the water, wear gloves. You hate them, I hate them, but we make a choice. We either, if you want long nails, you have to wear gloves. And if you choose not to wear gloves, then please don't complain that why can't my nails grow because blah, blah, blah. But I refuse to wear gloves. And it's like, you can't, you have to pick one. So it is very bad. People want to soak to make their nails white. Okay, why are we doing that? Why do our nails need to be so white? Especially for those of us who love polish. We're just gonna cover it up. So don't damage them and trying to make them white when you're just gonna cover it up with polish, which is gonna pretty much make them a little bit yellow anyway. And then you're gonna do this again, and this is what I watch girls do it again and again and again, and it just drives me nuts. And then another big myth, this one's fun, this one's crazy, is garlic. Garlic is not good for your nails. And there's so many people who are like, my great grandmother from Italy, she swears by garlic. It makes her nails stronger. Well, no, it's not the garlic that she's using for cooking all of these fantastic Italian meals. It's the olive oil. So her hands are in olive oil, and olive oil, it takes a lot longer to penetrate into the nail plate, because if you look under the microscope, our sebum, our body oil, has this chemical structure that looks like a line, and then jojoba wax ester also has this straight line. But you look at olive oil, and it has 3 branches, so it's like hooked this way, and it's got a branch and a branch and a branch. So think about so it's a bigger molecule basically. I'm probably saying the wrong words, but anyway, so back to the garlic. So great grandmother, she used garlic, swears by it, whatever. So then people started taking garlic and putting it in top coat and applying that to their nails and swearing that the garlic was doing it. Then this one just kills me. Then somebody goes, well, if that's good, well, then how about if I just stick my nails into cloves of garlic? That's going to strengthen them, right? No. No. So that's a really funny myth. Makes me laugh. What got me into nail care in the first place? That's a great question. Hand sanitizer. Yes, that was the word I was looking for a long time ago. Thank you, Short Bunny. Okay, so how did I get into nail care? Well, my husband and I wrote a book called What You Don't Fix, Your Kids Inherit, because we were going to try and get into the parenting niche of helping parents with their kids. And one of the big things is, you get all of these weird beliefs and habits from our parents, and those get passed on. Anyway, so it was like, if you don't want to pass these on to your children, you need to work on yourself first. And a lot of parents don't want to do that. Anyway, so we spent 2 years writing the book, and then I needed to promote the book. I was too tired. I was like, I don't want to promote the book. And so at that point, I was just so tired that all I wanted to know was, Google, how do I get my nail polish to stop chipping in the shower? And I fell into this 2-week-long rabbit hole, and I discovered swatchers and all these different people doing nail art and videos and really, really bad nail care advice. And so after 2 weeks of exploring, I felt like I'd explored the whole internet trying to find that answer. I still didn't have an answer to why does my polish keep chipping in the shower. And it took me over a year to finally figure it out. And it was from reading pieces, all different kinds of pieces, and I finally put it together when I was reading Doug Schoen's book, Nail Structure and Product Chemistry. And when I learned how much water the nail plate absorbs, because it can absorb 1/3 its weight in water, I was like, oh, so even with polish, so the nails are absorbing water right down here by the proximal fold. But the biggest one was water was being absorbed from the bottom side when I was in the shower. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So what was happening was the water was going all the way through the nail plate, and it was breaking the polish to nail plate bond. And so doing shampoo and stuff, and then I'd have all of these chips when I came out. So that's how I came up with the Fab 5 wrap. And oh my gosh, you guys, I have 1 minute and 55 seconds now. Rhiannon says, I've also seen on YouTube they put garlic in clear polish. I talked about that. Nope, it doesn't work. Okay. Yeah. Somebody says antibacterial soap, terrible for skin and nails, and are helping the superbugs. Exactly. That's what's happening, is we're developing these germs and all of this stuff that, it's just making it worse, and then we're getting sicker. Okay, what do you think of buffing? I talked about that earlier, and go to Google nailcarehq.com and buff. To buff or not to buff. That's the article. Okay, I have 1 minute. So for those of you that, if I haven't answered your question, I will be back at 3 o'clock today. So that's in 3 hours. And then you can also email me Anna at myBlissKiss.com and ask me your question, and then I can come back and answer that for you. How do I clean my Bliss Kiss nail file? Soap and water. You could use rubbing alcohol also. 19 seconds. Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. 11 seconds. All right, I will see you guys in about 3 hours for those of you who can, and otherwise I'll be back next week. Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.